Hey, Kimmy. Hey, Roz. All right. So, yes, that's another Roslyn. Do you? Yeah. Oh my goodness. It's such a small world. I know. So I want to introduce to you guys, this is David Halpern. He is a longtime business coach. And like I told you guys at our team meeting yesterday, the reason why I love David is because David to me has a different approach to real estate. He's a businessman first. He actually has never worked in real estate, right, David? So he is a businessman. So he looks at our industry from a business perspective, not from a real estate or a realtor perspective, right? And in our business, the goal is leads, grow your business, right? Lead generate to get the business. And he looks at it to me from just that perspective is like, you see this, flood the freaking funnel, right? That's it. And I just love how he coaches us and trains us, and he's real with us. And he has coached some very successful agents and business people because he coaches across business industries, not just realtors, not just lenders, but he coaches people who own insurance companies, people who own cleaners and things like that. I mean, literally, he coaches business people. So he's here to make us better business people. He's going to be real with us. So when he tells us what we don't do, don't get mad, don't hate. We don't do it. For any length of time, you know you don't do it, so don't get mad at him. All right. Just listen and take away what you can. So without further ado, and he's got his wonderful assistant and partner, Roz is amazing, you guys. And she's been with him since the beginning, right?
17 years.
17 years, yes. And so he truly believes in leverage, but he gets the best of the best, and she's the best of the best.
Appreciate you.
So without further ado, David Halpern, take it away.
I appreciate it, Brandy. Yep, I appreciate that very much. And actually, I'm trying to remember how I met Brandy back in the day. I guess it was the Keller Williams and Whittier back in the day, or you were team leading there, if I'm not mistaken. And I don't know how we got connected, maybe through some of those lenders like Chris and Conrad. Anyway, great to have you guys. I'm going to keep it relatively simple, I hope. So that, and my objective is to get under your skin a little bit in a good way, not in a negative way, okay? So that you literally get off this Zoom in whatever we do, 30, 45 minutes, let's say it's 45 minutes-ish or something like that. Then number one, you don't get bored. And number two, you get off this Zoom really itchy to try some of the things that I share with you. Is that fair? But I'm not going to give you too many things. I want to keep it simple because great business people keep it simple. First things for you, and I see Kimberly and Ned and Rosalind on Zoom and Brandy, whoever you've got in the office. I want to give you a cell phone number right now. Okay. And in fact, I'm going to give you Roz's cell phone, Roz, if that's okay with you. I want you guys to do me a favor. Write down this number right now. Text this number right now. And I'm going to give you a bunch of freebies. There's no catcher or anything. I'm just going to give you a bunch of freebies that we're going to be talking about here on the Zoom anyway. For example, included in the freebies that I'm going to send you is a list of about 150 marketing channels that realtors and lenders that I have privately coached have used to get closes since I started doing this in 2014. Okay. Literally every marketing channel, including a bunch you've probably never heard of before, that realtors have used free or paid or whatever on a giant list. And the beauty of this list is number one, I'm a metrics nut, so I track everything. But the beauty of this list is, let's say, for example, you go, what the heck is UpNest? I've never heard of that before, and it's on David's list. Well, you can text me or text Ross, and not only will we share with you what UpNest is, we will connect you to the realtors that are using UpNest already and have gotten closes from it already. Every marketing channel on this list will have the name or names of realtors that have gotten not leads, closes from it. So, for example, you may never heard of UpNest, but UpNest gives you free leads. They're listing leads only, and it's so affiliated with Realtor.com, and they screen them so that you don't get leads very often at all. But when you do, they actually want to run and talk to you, and they're actually for listings only, and you never heard of it before. And yeah, there's a fee of whatever it is, $75 a month. And yeah, it's a 1-year commitment, but you might want to know about it. I'm not making this about UpNest. There are a whole bunch of marketing channels like this that you may not know about, right? And so anyway, that's going to be in this free little package or whatever we're going to shoot you. Okay. We're just going to need your email address. So text Roz, but text her to this. And there's a few more freebies. I'll tell you what they are in a second. Just text her right now anyway. So Roz, ROS, right? Her number is 909 743 1866. I'm going to put it in the chat box here. Let me do that one more time. Ready? Okay, Roz, 909 743 1866. Whoops. If you text her to this number, she's going to email to you. Okay, text her, give her your email address, whatever, through the text. Number one, every marketing channel that anybody's used to get closes. Roz and I are not billable hour attorneys. You can text us anytime and ask us questions nonstop. We will get back to you. Okay. Number two, we're going to include an event checklist for free. I'm going to explain about events later on. You're going to want this. This is how do you throw a client appreciation party? How do you throw a buyer's housewarming party? How do you do a first-time home buyers event or some other informational event and get business from it? We have our own, it's not a long checklist. It's a pretty short checklist of about 8 different things that we do for our events. And Brandy's been to events of ours where we've had 300 people just for me. We're good at throwing events, but these are things that will get you business, okay? What else will be in this little free package if you text Roz, right? We've also got in there Brandy will remember this one from way back when. I am a guy who loves really short business plans. I am not a fan of Tom Ferry's 10-page condensed business plan. I came out of investment banking when I was in my 20s, and they didn't even use 10-page business plans. I'm a fan of listen to this carefully, less than 1-page business plan. So our business plan will be in this package, the marketing channels. Here's another one. Ready? If you text Roz to this 909 number and give her your email address or whatever it is, we're also going to include the highest response rate scripts that you can use to get leads through Facebook or Instagram or texting or email from your database. Everybody good so far? Yep. So make sure you reach out to Roz, text her at that number. Even if you're in the room, text her anyway, and text her your email, and then that way we'll be able to kind of get all these freebie and all this fun stuff back to you. Another thing you ought to be aware of is we'll also kind of share with you whenever we have other free events coming up, including one next week, which I'll share before we get off, okay? So far, so good? All right. So let's start. Great business owners think on paper. Realtors don't. I could kind of, forgive me, because this is when Brandy says I get real. I could probably do about 30 minutes of what realtors do that's really stupid. But I won't. I'm here to support you. I've been hanging out with you people for the last 11 years now, whatever it is. So here we go. Are you ready? Let's just keep this simple and I'm going to move on. Realtors are terrible at building businesses. They're really good at running around complaining about interest rates and the economy and their marketing and their lack of pipeline, but they're really, really bad at building businesses. So here we go. Tony Robbins has something called the rule of threes. He says the human brain works like this: 1, 2, 3, overwhelm. If you take your business, okay, if you take your business and your marketing and you start giving me a whole list of things you want to do in your business, I know you're going to do nothing. If you keep it to 1 or 2 or 3 activities, you can really scale a business. So let's start with about 3, 4, 5 minutes of big picture. I'm a business guy who happens to be hanging out a lot for the last decade with realtors and lenders. Okay, fine. I coached Jennifer Avalon in your office for 1.5 years. I coach your Brandy's good friend, Everardo Ortega. Still, I'll even show you his numbers. He's having a great year. I coach her dear friend, Jenny Van. I coach a lot of people. I coach a lot of brokers that you know. I used to coach for Josh Spitzen's offices, a couple of them back in the day, Cerritos and others. Anyway, whatever. Here's the important thing. Are you ready? You've got to keep your business simple, and you've got to market way more. Period. You can't do too many things, but the 1, 2, 3 things you do, you got to do way more of. Fair? Before I get into marketing tactics with you, can I just share with you, this is what I think should be your roadmap in your business. I think you should throw everything out. I really do. And you should do the following. Number 1, scale up 2 or 3 marketing channels a lot and watch your business improve. Number 1, 2 to 3 marketing channels that you're going to do way more of than ever before. We'll come back to that topic in a minute. We good so far? That's your number one. Because without business, without flooding the funnel, as I like to say, you got nothing. Number two, please write this down, people. I don't care what kind of poverty mentality you've had in the past. Number two is delegate things off your plate. Ready? You don't have to do it my way, but this is the way I do it. Ready? Start delegating things off your plate to part-timers for $400 or less per month so that it doesn't scare you, it doesn't cost a ton, doesn't get under your skin. You don't have to run around with a fear-based mentality, but start getting things off your plate so you can do more business. Number three, ready? Brandy, you may not have heard this one from me before, and maybe this is just a function of me being 102 years old now and not being 20 years old anymore, but here we go. Ready? Number three. Be very specific about your retirement plan right now and start addressing it and attacking it this year. How about better yet, in July now? And don't wait until you're 150 years old. Don't wait until someday when I might have money. Don't wait until someday. And I'm not going to spend much time on that one today at all, unfortunately. But man, am I obsessing over that one. If I could go back in time, holy moly, would I do things differently? Okay. Are we good? And one of them is I would actually have my exit strategy already done. For those of you that are like, yeah, what are you talking about, dude? That sounds wonderful, but I have no money. This will take 30 years for me to buy homes that are clear and free. I'm talking about a 5-year plan, and I'm talking about starting it this month, but we're not going to have time for that one today. But how about this? I've been coaching in your industry long enough that I'm a little tired of working with people whose businesses have been growing. I'll show you examples in a minute, but they still don't have a pot to piss in. They still don't have cash put aside. All they did was spend more money on sushi dinners and a nicer car. That's not acceptable as far as I'm concerned. You have to simultaneously, ready? Number one, scale your business through more marketing. Number two, peel some things off your plate a little by little where it doesn't hurt, right? Through delegation. And number three, start attacking this I don't want to have to do real estate for 42 years thing now. Good enough? That's not going to be the topic for today. We're going to focus on number 1 and 2. Everybody good so far? Yeah. All right, here we go. I know we have a list that we're going to give most of you because you're going to text us or whatever with your email address. I know we're going to give a list of all these 150 marketing channels that our people have been using to get closes, but I'm going to give you the 5 that work the best right now. Please write these down. I don't want you to do all 5. I want you to pick 2, maybe 3. Okay. I guess maybe 1. It'd be better than what you're doing now anyway, right? And attack them like crazy. And they're all simple. Here we go. Let's start with number 1. Ready? Number 1, text 50 people a day from either your cell phone or your CRM, whether you use KV Core or whatever you use, right? Be in Touch, Lion, Desk, Booge, Zap, I don't know, whatever you use. Probably, I guess, KV Core for most, right?
Command.
KW Command. Okay, even better. KW Command. So use KW Command, use your cell phone. Between the 2 of them, text 50 people a day. And you're like, yeah, but some of the people on my cell phone are the same people that are in my CRM. Fine, who cares? Yeah, but what if I text them both in the same day or the same week? Are you ready? I'm a business guy. Who cares? When Coca-Cola does an ad on TV, do they care if you've seen their ad 3 times in a day? No, they want you to see the ad 3 times a day. Got it? So number 1, text 50 people a day with a 20-word or less yes or no script. I'm going to give you examples in a sec, right? That creates leads. Now, under this same category, I have a couple of things for you, right? Texting is the highest response rate and gets you the most business. Many of you are using texting for follow-up and keeping in touch with people, but you're not actually using it to market and get the next lead. We send out hundreds and hundreds. This morning, I honestly think I've sent out already 400 texts this morning. Everybody catch that? From my cell phone. And that doesn't include Lion Desk, Roz's cell phone, whatever. Doesn't include Facebook, Instagram. We're going to get to it in a minute. Okay. What scripts can you use to create leads? I'll give you 2 examples. You don't have to write these down right now. You're going to get them in our free package anyway. Everybody got that? The word for word doesn't even matter. You'll still get a good response rate. When you send 50 texts a day, please write this down. David is saying, you can quote me on this one and hold me to this one. I'm going to get one lead per day. Everybody catch that? One warm or hot lead daily. Here are some examples of scripts. My favorite one personally, hi, first name, any interest in buying an investment property someday? You're going to get yeses. Okay. And then guess what you do with them? You book appointments, go meet people, buy them coffee, hang out, talk about life, talk about family, talk about what they want to do down the road, whether it's now or later. More appointments, more appointments, more appointments. Did I say more appointments, people? Number one is do a 20-word or less yes or no script. Here's a different script you could use. Hi, first name. Hi, Kimberly, or whatever, right? Any interest in buying or selling a home or investment property in the next, 36 months, in the next 12 months, whatever. Everybody got it, people? Okay, here's another one you could use. Hi, first name. Any interest in getting an accurate valuation on your home every month? Maybe you want to put in parentheses, since Zillow's not so accurate. Smiley face. Okay. Every time you do this, when people respond, the whole game is to interact with them and tell them, I'm going to get you that information. By the way, are you available if I swing on by for a cup of coffee or something? You're setting appointments. You're trying to meet people. 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 Everybody got it? You're trying to meet people. Number one, send 50 texts a day, and you will find that on average, you're going to get one interested lead daily. What if you do it 2 days in a row and you get no leads? Change the script. Everybody got that? What if you get one and it works most every day? Don't change the script. Keep doing it. What if I gotten through everybody on my cell phone and everybody in my CRM? Go back and do it again. Maybe tweak the script a little. Number two, ready? Number two, 29 Facebook Messenger messages daily plus 29 Instagram DMs daily. 29 face-to-face Facebook Messenger messages daily, 29 Instagram. Why 29? 30 is the spam blocking number for Facebook and Instagram. If you do 30, suddenly the messages don't go through anymore. Interesting? We know from experience, and in fact, we used to do way more than that every day, but Facebook and Instagram cracked down on it, okay? So what kind of script are you sending out? Also, ready? 20-word or less, yes or no questions, because they create the highest response rate and the most interaction. Is that cool, people? What if you're like, oh, I've been sending direct messages for 3 straight months. I've been getting a lot of leads. I don't want to do that anymore. Fine, just send them a happy, I don't know, July 4th message or a happy summer message or something. Fine, but then go back at some point fairly quickly to direct asking to create leads. 29 Facebook, 29 Instagram. Can I show you how that one works? Watch this. I'm going to pull this. Do I have a screen share? Can you guys see my screen there?
Yes.
All right, let's pop up. Which one am I looking at? Here's a follower on Instagram named Richard Martinez. Back in 2019, we started hitting him with these Instagram DMs because we do 29 a day or whatever. Hi, Richard, any interest in one-on-one coaching? And he said, that's my specialty. He's actually a coach. So he wasn't interested. I don't even know who he was, by the way. He was a follower on Instagram. Okay, great. Anyway, any interest in getting information about my business products? He left a polite message. He was not interested. Any message in he was not a, now we're in 2020. Any interest in a virtual assistant? He replied back, yes, I am. Okay, that was 2020. Now we're in 2025, right? Listen carefully. What I didn't know is that Richard is married to Adriana from Adriana's Insurance. In the last 2 years, Adriana's Insurance has spent more than $50,000 with us on virtual assistants. Are you ready for the pop quiz, people? How much did I pay the guy on my team, Jethro, who lives in Manila, the Philippines, to send out all of the messages through Instagram and Facebook, by the way, to Richard Martinez since 2015? Are you ready? Anybody want to guess the approximate cost of what it cost for me to pay someone to send these messages all of these years? Answer, less than $1. I want to remind you, in the last 2 years, Richard and his company, Adriana's Insurance, spent more than $50,000 with us. It cost me less than $1 to market to him over the last 10 years. Does everybody understand why you should do this? Okay, This is just a simple yes or no question. The one that got him was, if I can find it, any interest in a virtual assistant for $375 a month. That was it. That was it. I don't even know why he's following us. I never met him before. Okay. Let's continue, shall we? Number 3. Let's do number 3. Number 3 is events. We're going to take a minute on events. Okay. Events. There are 4 types of events you can do. Number 1, big client appreciation parties where you invite everybody from all over, your friends, your family, your past client, your circle of influence. You throw a party. Got it? I want you to write this down. For whatever these parties cost you, whether it costs you $500 or $3,000 or whatever you spend on these, from experience, people will average at least 1.5 closes per party when they do the bigger client appreciation events. Let's just say conservatively 1 per party. But most people do more than 1 per party. How much you guys make on a transaction in Downey nowadays? 12 grand, 15 grand, 10 grand? I don't know, right? It's a big deal. Okay. Client appreciation parties. And if you're thinking to yourself, oh, I got to throw this, I got to send invitations, I got to do this, I got to do that. Remember my rule number 2 from the beginning? Rule number 1 was do 2 or 3 marketing channels like crazy and bigger than you ever did before. Rule number 2 was delegate everything for $400 or less. Kimberly, Rosalind, Ned, Brandy, and anybody that's with you, the 8 or 10 people with you in Downey, does everybody understand? I don't want you to do the events yourself. I want you to pay somebody under $400 a month part-time to do them for you, and part-time so that if they don't have a great work ethic, if you're not feeling it, you can let them go easily, quickly. Everybody got me? So when I'm talking about doing events, for me as a business guy, I'm talking about having somebody do everything for you. The invitations, the confirmation messages, the sending out the party invitations, the, preparing the food, the drink, whatever. Whenever I do an event for my company, Roz and I have somebody on our team. Her name is Amani, right? She does everything, including when you see the Starbucks in the back of the room, it has her name on it, even though she's in Montana. Okay. You want to hear something crazy? You guys can do this yourself. You can pay someone to do it. You could even pay Roz, our team, and Amani, who does my events, will do your events for you. Interesting? Throw that in your tool belt. We'll come back to that later. But my number 3 is you can do client appreciation parties. That's the first type of event. The second type of event is my favorite, buyer housewarming parties after the close. These are amazing. You and a lender go split $600, $700, $800. Maybe it's $300, $400 each. You buy the food, you buy the drink, whatever. You tell your clients, Mr. and Mrs. Jones, Mr. and Mrs. Juarez, when we close on this house, you are not getting out of it. I am throwing a party for you in your house. And I'm going to bring all the food and the drink, and you have to do nothing. You get from them, listen carefully, 40, 50, 60, 70 names, phones, and emails of the people they want to invite. You send the fancy party invites in the mail. You don't mention you're the realtor. You call all 60, 70 people. Most of them are voicemails anyway, but you call them and you invite them to the party with humility and love. You're the realtor. I mean, you're not the realtor. You're the friend throwing the party. Got it? Now, here's why. When you get to the party, it is really important that you humbly serve behind the food or the drink, and you don't move the whole party. You might get stuck in the corner if you start moving around with talking with somebody who talks too much the whole party, and you've defeated the whole purpose of the party. You want to be in one place the entire 2, 3, 4 hours. Here's why. The hosts they can't help themselves. You're throwing a party for them. You were their realtor. They're going to bend over backwards to introduce everybody in the house to you. I'm telling you right now, you're welcome to test me on this. I am a numbers nut. I track everything with my clients. You will average 1 close per buyer's housewarming party. You spent $300 to $400 for the food and drink. You got 10, 12 grand in closings. You may have a party with no closings and the next one has 2 closings, but most of them are going to be about 1 closing per party. It's crazy. You could do a Zoom informational event. Guys, pop quiz. Why am I on Zoom with you right now? Answer, because it works for our business. Okay, I know that sounds ridiculous, but Zoom events work also. So what do we do on Zoom events? What do you do on Zoom events? Very simple. You pour into people for free, try to add value the best you can in every way you can. And at the end, you share your product offering and ask them to reach out. Everybody got that? Okay. I privately coach Becky and Tom Garcia. They are in Coldwell Banker over in Whittier, not far from where I met Brandy originally on Whittier Boulevard, right? Okay, Tom and Becky just did a trust event where they had the trust attorney come and share with some of their, database, just information. Tom tells us afterwards, I think I have 3 deals from that. And I'm like, how'd you get 3 deals? Did you do any marketing in the event? I thought it was about trusts. And he said, yeah, it was about trusts. I didn't do anything. But people came up to me after the event and asked me for help. Look, events, you want the definition of an event? An event is anytime you meet more than one person on an appointment. That's an event. Right now, we got an event going, right? We got about 3 or 4 of you. Ivan just joined on Zoom, Rosalind, Kimberly, Ned, Brandy, and the 7 or 8 people, whatever you got in the office over there. We've got an event right now with 12 people. You understand how this worked? It's kind of like network marketing. I have a friend. Her name is Brandy. Brandy has 12 friends. I do nothing. Brandy brings the 12 friends. Are you ready for a 4th kind of party you could do or event that you could do? This is network marketing style if you're familiar with any of the network marketing companies. You could do what they would call private business receptions in people's homes. You could literally reach out to your database and tell people, look, any interest in investing in the future? I have a couple of things I really want to share with you for the future that you really ought to be aware of, or you really ought to do if you ever want to invest. In fact, you want me to swing on by your place and I'll bring over some pastries or coffee? Hey, do you even want to invite over a couple of friends and family members and we'll make a little something fun out of it? Do you guys realize you could work through your network to meet their networks, just like the old Tupperware parties or Herbalife, ACN, Amway, whatever? You could literally do this for free. Fascinating. Events are my number 3 marketing channel. Number 1, texting. Number 2, Facebook and Instagram messages. Number 3, events of all kinds. You want my recommendation on this one? You want a quantity? I believe that if you've never done events before, you should do one every month. Maybe 1 month it's a Zoom informational event. Maybe the next one it's a client appreciation one. You're having people over to your home or to a movie theater or whatever. Maybe the next month you're doing a buyer's housewarming party. Cool? And if you're overwhelmed already at any of these 3 marketing tactics, I'm here to tell you, don't be overwhelmed. Pay somebody to do it part-time. You can even do it through us. We do all of these things, by the way. But you can pay anybody to do it and get it off your plate. Your job is to be a businesswoman or a businessman and to scale. Does that make sense? Okay, let's go to number 4. Number 4, social proof posts. What the heck is a social proof post? It's when you post twice a week on Facebook and Instagram, or pay someone to do it for you, part-time, $400 a month or less, whatever. You got it, right? Okay. You're posting twice a week a bunch of photos of you with your clients. Okay, so let's say Rosalind Phillips, I'm going to use you as an example. You go and you show homes in, I don't know, Gardenia or whatever to a married couple, and it doesn't matter whether they love the homes. Take 15, 16 photos, okay? Take photos. Post them on Facebook and Instagram. Put a couple of lines, just put 2, 3 sentences of, I was out with Mr. and Mrs. Jones looking at homes to find their dream home in Gardenia, and in Gardena, and we didn't find what they liked today, but man, we're on the search. Tag them, and guess who sees the post? Tag a couple of other people if you're, that are maybe you've been showing homes to recently or your current clients, and guess what happens? Their friends and family members see your post. Their friends and family members like your post. Their friends and family members look at your post and your photos. The family you're serving is looking for their photos because they want to see themselves. All of this is good. You ready for a real life example of how this gets you business? We do this twice a week because in a typical week, we get one hot lead from these 2 posts. Watch this. Back in May last year, we posted 50-something photos from a lunch and learn that Roz and I did down in Newport Beach. Okay? Tons of photos in here. I put, want David Halpern for free for your office lunch and learn, message Roz to schedule it, special thanks to the people that hosted us. And then I typed in everybody else's name that attended the event. And of course, you end up with 50 something likes and a bunch of comments. Watch this. Watch this. Eduardo and Karina Ariza put, please contact me, Roz. Why did they put that? Because they have an office, a real estate office in Covina, and they wanted us to do one of those meetings in their office for free. We go to their office 2-3 months later. Eduardo and Karina signed up for private coaching. Their good friend, Maria Leone, who's friends with the owners of that real estate chain or whatever, signs up for private coaching and marketing with us. And a third person signs up for marketing with us. Do you guys understand? How much did it cost me to put those posts up? Answer, nothing. How much would it cost you if you want to pay someone to do it? Not much, right? Put two social proof is the purpose of social media. What is social proof? It's when everybody thinks that you're doing business with everyone all the time, all over the place, because they see you everywhere. Does that make sense? If you guys, I would encourage you all to friend me on Facebook, send me a friend request, or follow me on Instagram, because not because you have to look at me all the time or whatever, but you can model or plagiarize the marketing that we do, because you're going to see very clearly how we do it. You will always see a few of these posts every month. You'll see a bunch of them, and it gets us more business. Social proof is the belief that you're everywhere all the time doing business with everyone. And when people feel that way, it gives you credibility, and you start getting the inbound phone calls that all of us really are dreaming of all the time, right? Okay. Everybody good with that one? Let's go to number 5, last one. Number 5. Let me get rid of this one here. We're going to do stories right now. Let's see. Is there any other one I need in here? No, this is good. Oh, here's another example. Just going back to the Facebook messages. Joe Manjarez, we sent him Facebook messages starting in 2015. David, can you call me? Thanks. I don't know if you know Joe. He's in an office not far from you guys. Very high volume guy. And sure enough, he started 4 years ago doing virtual assistants with us and has been using our virtual assistants ever since. That was back to Facebook Messenger. But let's go to, here we go, stories. Number 5. Do stories twice a week to get leads. Watch this. The way I do it is I post 2 photos or videos that are Instagram worthy. Here's one that my daughter took of me in Hawaii a couple of years ago. Next, here's us on a little daddy-daughter date. Okay. Gets a lot of eyeballs, right? The first one, maybe 250 people looked at it. Maybe the second one was 200 people. Then you start doing text on stories number 3, 4, 5, and 6 to start creating your own free click funnel. A click funnel. Watch this. We're trying to promote for free tickets for an event in Rancho Cucamonga. This is a couple months ago, right? So maybe only 150 people stayed on to look at this story. And then the next story. For 2 free tickets, text my cell phone with a code. Next story. The flyer for the event. Next story. Text 2024 for 2 free tickets to my cell phone. Now, on this last one, people, there were only about 60 that were still looking at this last story. Does everybody understand that if you post a bunch of stories and 200 something people look at the first story, or whatever the number is, it doesn't matter. And some people are going to drop off and say, I'm tired of your stuff. I'm going to look at somebody else's photos. But the people that are left on the last story, some of them are interested in your product. They're not just interested in you. Got it? It's a free click funnel, and you don't have to pay some Facebook marketer 20 grand a month or 10 grand a month to do it for you. So how we do it is as follows. Ready? Twice a week. How would you do this as a realtor? Okay. Kimberly, I'm going to use you as an example. So I'm Kimberly. I got a Facebook and Instagram. I want to put stories to get leads. So maybe I post a picture of myself with my family. Gets a lot of eyeballs. It's a nice family photo. Maybe the one after that is me, doing something, during the workday, just another nice photo or video. Cool. After that, I might do, any interest in buying an investment property someday? Maybe the one after that is text yes to your cell number. Maybe the one after that is a little flyer or just more text that says 3 keys to investing. Otherwise, don't do it, or something like this. And maybe your fourth one says text yes, again, text yes to your Kimberly cell number. You're going to get 1 hot lead per week. You know what you could also do, which we do? We have a virtual assistant. Go to the last story and send private messages to everybody that viewed the last story. Hey, are you interested in investing or whatever it is? Your stories get more eyeballs than your posts. It's a fabulous click funnel. Does this make sense? Okay, I do want to show you one last thing here. Watch this. I coach a guy named Sergio Angulo. Sergio's in Montebello. Okay, he did 342,000 a couple of years ago, 491,000 last year. He's at 305 so far this year. Watch this. Wanda Torres. I've been coaching her for 5 years. She is already at 218,000, her best year ever. And I'm talking about this year with the 8%, 7%, whatever interest rates. And Lynn Munger Perry, I've been coaching her since 2018. 609 last year, her best year. She's at 490 now, people. Everardo, who's with you guys, right? I guess he used to be in your office and now he's moved out to the Inland Empire. Watch this. He's got 5 closed for 85. His best year was last year, 131. He's at 85 right now. If everything in his pipeline closes, that's already in his pipeline closes. He's at 257. What are these people doing? Why are they doing bigger numbers? Are you ready? Please, please. You might want to pay. You probably already wrote this down. Number one, every one of them is taking 2 or 3 marketing channels and doing way more of them than ever before. That's number one. Okay. By the way, one of them does way more open houses than they ever did before. That's a whole nother story. Way more. But most of them are doing the 5 things I'm talking to you about, or they're doing 2 or 3 of them, right? The texting or the Facebook and the Instagram or the events or the stories or the posts. Got it? So number one is they're doing a couple of the things I just shared with you over the last half hour in big quantity. Number two, all of them are getting help and delegating and paying people. In fact, of those examples I just used with you guys, every one of them is using my company and Roz's company, right? For some service. You don't have to use us, but they're using us for some service in addition to coaching with me. Okay. Number 3, I know this doesn't show on that sheet, but I am constantly arm twisting people with my private coaching, right? To do the new marketing channels, even to offer a different product or a new product, which I'm not going to get into today. I don't want to confuse you guys. But also number 3, to start doing some very structured, very disciplined investing with or without money. Some of them don't have money. Some of them have money from the people I coach in general, right? With or without money, to start doing with or without money, to start doing some investing so that they have this North Star. They have this clear timeline and strategy that they don't have to do real estate or lending in 5 years or 6 years, not 30, 5 years or 6 years, even though a lot of them want to keep working somewhat, right? Okay, which I know we didn't get to that one today, but did want to bring that one up, right? Okay, if you'll all permit me, I do want to take a minute. And Brandy, if you don't mind, I'm going to share with your permission. I know you know some of our products because you've used them and still use them. I'm going to share with you a couple of things that we can do to help support you in your business. Rosalind, who put her cell number in the chat box and who's in the office with you guys right now, right? You guys can just literally, if you have an interest in any one of these things, we've known Brandy for a long time. So I just want you to know that we're about to do something that Brandy has not heard before. So I hope it doesn't offend her, because we're going to do something very special. If you guys need some help to scale your business right into these difficult years, I'm telling you right now, I don't really care what the interest rates are. I don't care what the economy's like. You can grow. You are not the American economy. You can grow. Okay. So I'm going to share with you the 3 things that we can do to support you in your business. If you have an interest in any one of them, you tell Roz immediately, and you don't even have to feel rushed, because she's going to schedule or share with you. She's going to get you on Zoom with the people on our team and walk through exactly the details. And then, hey, you want to proceed, you proceed. So here we go. And also, Brandy, I'll ask you the usual question about takeaways afterwards. Who's got takeaways? What do you guys learn or whatever? But here we go. Ready? Our 3 best-selling products. Number 1, I'm going to start with coaching on the bottom right. So our coaching includes a couple of things here. Number 1, I don't know if I've got the right flyer up, but number 1, daily coaching with me. So Brandy, also, here's a crazy one for you. We do, you know me with my numbers and accountability. I like to do very short numbers and accountability, super short, super mellow. We now do it daily. If you want your entire office on this product, I will literally charge you for one person. And you can put every freaking KW Downey realtor in this program. How's that for a deal? Cool. So that's one for you, which is $997 through the end of the year. That's it. A one-time fee, $990. Here's what it is. Ready? Here we go. Watch this. Number one is you get on a morning Zoom. We have a big group that does all kinds of things with us in the morning. And as you can see here, they do a lot of business. This one got escrow, that one got escrow, this one got a lease, this one got escrow all this week or whatever. We're tracking numbers. Brandy knows me and my tracking numbers. I'm kind of a maniac for tracking. The beauty of this, listen, last year, the group was only 15 people. Every one of the 15 had an increase last year. This year, the group's a little larger, so I'm not sure it'll be all 100% hit rate this year. But man, there's something about showing up every day onto listen carefully, a 15-minute Zoom every morning. A 15-minute Zoom every morning. You share for about 15 seconds. Everybody's encouraging everybody else, and then we're sharing best practices. Is that cool? That's our coaching. There are two other elements here. Watch this. Oh, I lost the sheet. Here it is. Number two, we're doing a monthly mastermind. Please write this down, folks. I want to invite you for free onto the next monthly mastermind. It is next Wednesday at 12 noon. Our topic is scaling your business and growing your cash, whether or not you have money. And that's going to be 12 o'clock next Wednesday. Okay. But we do a monthly Zoom. It's included in your coaching package. And the third thing you may have seen, well, which is not on that sheet, but I do want to share this with you. Every Wednesday from 10 to 11, we just had it. We do what's called the Mastery program with David Halpern. We teach principles of leverage and business scaling. We teach flips in detail where you don't have to participate, but if you do want to participate, it's a minimum 10,000 only. We've got flippers in the group who bring deals to you. You can bring deals to the flippers. You can wholesale them. You can find them. You can do whatever you want. You can just learn. Transparently learning from flippers. And the last piece of the week, this is called the Mastery Program with David Halpern. It's weekly, Wednesdays at 10 a.m. It's part of our coaching bundle. And listen to this. I teach the investing that my wife and I do out of state where we buy $30,000 homes. Listen carefully. We flip them for triple, typically in under 60 days, on seller financing. So we're not only getting way more money than we paid for these $30,000 homes, which don't exist in California, but we're also getting interest payments for 30 years. I don't want to get into the details of this one right now, but all I want to tell you is this is what my wife and I have been doing. It's a brilliant strategy. The return on investment is huge. You can't find these homes in California, of course, but you don't have to go there either. Okay, so this is our coaching bundle. Our price for the coaching bundle, for anybody that's listening carefully, is for any one of you, it's a one-time fee of $997, and you will be in our program through the end of this year. But Brandy, if somebody's willing to do that, they'll be paying for your entire office. How's that? Cool? One person will put your whole office in the program. Literally. Anybody that wants. The only thing we are going to require of you is just give Roz names, phones, and emails so we know who, is in that subset. And literally, you'll have our daily Zooms, our weekly Zooms, and also the free events that we do. Cool? And when I am in LA, we do events in person too, and we let you know of those as well. Brandy's been to a couple of them over the years. Okay, let's go to the next product. Shavita's social media bundle. Shavita lives in Chandigarh, India. She works with us full-time for 8 years. She came to LA in January and spent the week with us. She's coming back into LA in September and spending the week with us, so you get a chance to meet her. She becomes your virtual assistant working directly for you. Listen carefully. She does 3 weekly posts to Facebook, LinkedIn, and Instagram. That's 9 total posts every week. She does 2 monthly reels with professional quality content. She also does 3 stories, Facebook and Instagram, emails from your CRM, all of the messages from Facebook and Instagram. I want you to listen carefully. Four of the 5 things that we talked about today, she will do for you. You don't have to do anything. Interesting? Shavita's English is perfect. She has a 909 cell phone number. She works LA business hours to support her family. Roz and I pay for it. We have a team of 5 that work for her. She is your direct virtual assistant. Ready for the last one. She'll do daily check-ins with you. You don't need to chase her. She's a total rock star. She chases you. She checks in with you every day. And she knows how to do a whole bunch of things. Listen carefully, folks. She knows how to use KW Command. She knows how to use it. You don't need to teach her. She knows every CRM in your industry. She knows how to post to the MLS. She knows how to build landing pages and websites. Her team does all kinds of crazy stuff. You want to do Facebook targeted ads and Google targeted ads. She can do that as part of this. Here's the fee. Are you ready? It's a one-time fee to have Shavita, and Roz and Shavita together will do a Zoom call to walk you through the entire process and things that they need from you to get set up. Does that make sense? Okay. One-time fee. Write this down, please. You probably won't forget it. $997 one-time fee. And you get Shavita for 6 months. Cool? Got it? Hey, for anybody in this room that says, you know what? This is exactly what I need. I want Shavita to work for me and do my database, my social media, any other ideas that we can come up together. She'll do them for you, by the way. Anybody that signs up for that program with Roz today, okay? I tell people all the time, look, what if you're like, oh, I got to do this, but my finances are tight. We're human. You need payment or two. You talk to Roz. We're human. However, if you want to pay in full today, we'll include the coaching for free. Got it? Let's go to the third product, virtual assistant. So we have people, our number one product right now is virtual assistants. We have realtors and lenders using our cold callers, executive assistants, administrative VAs, event planners. You get them 2 hours a day, 5 days a week. Okay. You know what? Maria Leone, who lives in Cerritos, uses 2 of our virtual assistants to call her database every day. They introduce themselves as, hi, my name is Jesus. I live in Caracas, Venezuela. I am the executive assistant for, they don't even say Caracas. They'll say, they'll just say, they won't say they're from abroad. I work for Kimberly James. I'm Kimberly's new executive assistant. Kimberly asked me to reach out to you. She wanted me to wish you a happy summer with you and your family and just update your email and phone in our file. But Kimberly asked me to ask you this question. Are you ready? This is my favorite lead gen question. Kimberly wanted me to ask you, what and when do you think will be your next real estate transaction? What and when? Like, for example, I want to do a cash out refi next year, or I want to buy an out-of-state property in 3 years, or I want to buy a rental property in Downey in a couple of months. What and when? Do you guys understand? If you hire a virtual assistant through us and we get them on this task, calling people you already know, every day they're going to come back to you with 1 or 2 or 3 people that said, hey, Kimberly, Susie, and Joe say that they want to buy an investment property in a year or 2. Martha says that she wants to do a cash out refi as soon as possible. Joey says he'd really like to start looking at, multi-units in Downey sometime now. Whatever. Sally says she wants to sell one of her properties. You're going to get leads. You're going to get now leads. You're going to get later leads. Okay. Or you can hire Aramani to be your VA, your event planner who does all the events for you. Last thing on this one. Ready? I'll wrap it up just to keep it quick. Cost of the virtual assistant. Take a guess. $997 one-time fee, and you'll get the virtual assistant for 3 months. Got it? If I went too fast, if it sounded interesting, but you got more questions, don't worry. You text Roz right now at her 909-743-1866 number, or you see her since she's in your office right now. Just tell her you want to talk more and she'll sit with you and she'll spend all the time you need. Okay, listen, what if you want all 3 products? Everything we offer right now, the coaching, 1 virtual assistant to start doing something, whether it's events or calling your database or calling your admin or whatever, right? Video editing, by the way, you can hire one of our people to do your video editing with all the fancy bells and whistles. right? Just look at my Facebook page and you'll see great quality videos, right? What if you also want Shavita to do your, your social media database, all of it? Are you ready? Okay. I know, Brandy, that's going to be lower than you probably paid, but we're going to do a blessing for your office if that's okay. One-time fee, $1,500, $1,497 actually. Talk to Roz, $1,497. You need a payment or two. We're human. You don't need a payment. Just pay in one payment. Whatever. You get all three. You get the Shavita for 6 months, the virtual assistant for 3 months, our coaching through the end of the year, or 6 months, I guess, or whatever it is, right? Just talk to Roz. She knows all these products better than me anyway. So when I explain them, I wonder sometimes if I'm getting it perfectly right. Okay. Brandy or Roz, could I ask you to just ask 2 or 3 people their takeaway? What one lesson did you get from this short Zoom? And we'll wrap up with that.
But yeah, definitely, David. We ask. So Zoomers, do you guys want to chime in? Any ahas? Kim, Ned, Ivan?
I love the social media when you're posting up pictures when you're with your clients and then tagging them.
Okay.
It reaches out to all their followers and friends and family members.
Did you guys hear that? Were you able to hear that, David?
Something about family members?
No. Armando likes the social media posts where you are tagging the person that you posted, right? And then you tag them so that their friends and family members see the post. That was brilliant.
Hey, Armando, we had a 2015 and 16, we had a virtual assistant work with me and Roz named Minu, who I wish she was still working with us, but her family moved from India to Tennessee, of all places. So now she's working for Salesforce.com. But what she used to do was we would post pictures of us like in real estate offices like yours and all the photos. And then your friends would see them and like it. So we'd get people friending or liking the post that were other realtors and lenders. Minu, our virtual assistant, would go in and take all the people that liked the post and send them friend requests. We grew our Facebook friends from 500 to 3,000 in literally 2, 3, 4 months. It was super fast. Got it? Just an idea.
That's brilliant. So go in and friend request all the people. Look who's here.
David.
Hey, long time. How you doing? Great to see you. How's the world of commercial?
Crazy, but it's fun. Can't complain.
Great to see you, Pavan. It's been forever.
I'm listening to you from my office. I'm glad that they had you here. So
Thank you.
I got to say hi. So I just wanted to come by and say hi.
Great to see you. Appreciate you much, Pavan. He's still there.
Yes. We're the OG. Got long
rock star. You got a rock star there. Yep.
He is our developer. Next week, we're actually going to Panorama City to see 6 units?
Yeah,
six homes that he is bringing to market, and we get first dibs. So, yes.
Love it. Beautiful.
Is the man. Anybody else? Any ahas? What other ahas? Al, you look like you got some ahas.
Oh, yeah. I mean, virtual assistants, like pennies.
Virtual assistants for pennies.
Awesome.
Yeah, I'm with you.
Can't go wrong with that. Absolutely. The leverage.
Yep. Leverage.
Yes. Anybody else? Letty, come on. The housewarming party. The idea of holding the buyer housewarming party. Absolutely. That's a great one. And I personally have done that, you guys, and he's not lying. I got one closing from every single one that I've done. And as I was sitting there, I was like, so why didn't I do them all the time? Like, what am I thinking? I'm like, this is crazy. Like, why haven't I done this every single closing? So I just closed in Gardena. I'm calling them and telling them I got your housewarming. Definitely.
So I love the whole delegating, like the whole like smaller ones, just so you can focus on the business, like the smaller activities.
Yes.
So that's probably something I'm definitely taking advantage of.
So delegating the smaller activities so that she can work more in her business. Absolutely. On probably finding the business versus all this administrative
do everything
stuff.
else. Yeah.
Yes, absolutely. Brilliant. Brilliant takeaway.
Would you do this?
Yes. Yes. Dave, anybody else?
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Or go ahead, Kimmy.
Yeah, I was gonna say, for it to be successful, to keep it simple, but market more. I like that idea. Simple, like they say, our business is simple, but it's not easy. So yeah, just to market more. I thought that was a good one, a good takeaway.
Absolutely. I think think all of us got ahas, David. We're all like stirring right now. And one of my biggest ones was the 2 to 3 channels. The idea of the rule of 3 that you said first in the beginning with, you can only 1, 2, 3, and then overwhelm. And I know I definitely am built like that. If I have too many things on my list, I'll start to shut down and get too overwhelmed. So if I only have 1 or 2 things, 1, 2, or 3, actually, it makes perfect sense to me. So I was like, okay, we need to really simplify things and stop being so elaborate with our plans and nothing gets done.
I know you've also heard me say this over the years. One last quick thought for you guys. Brandy's heard me say this a lot over the years, the power of thinking time. So, people in your industry call it like the difference between working in your business and working on your business. The problem is all of us get so caught up in the operations of our transactions, we don't actually stop and we don't use the highest ROI generator that exists, which is our own brains, right? Our cabeza. So it is really important. Like I found that my business operates better when I schedule thinking time. So it could be 1 hour a week. It's fine. And during that 1 hour, you're literally shutting off your work and you got a whiteboard or a journal and you're just writing down all kinds of crazy ideas. But you have to remember during that time to look back at, am I keeping this simple? Am I doing more of what's already currently working? Am I jettisoning the things that aren't working so much? Business was never meant to be the end game. It was always meant to be a vehicle for a better life, which means all of us are supposed to be doing more in the same or less effort, if that makes any sense. Or I'm okay with doing the same in less effort. That's okay with me too, right? But we've got to slow it down and kind of do a little bit of perspective once in a while.
Absolutely. David, this has been amazing. You guys, has it been great? Have you guys really gotten a lot from this? Thank you so much. We so appreciate
Always, Brandy. Great to see you.
it. Up for David.
Hey, Ross. Guys, thanks. I apologize I'm not there in person, but you've got Ross. She's my alter ego. Yeah.
I think for me, one of the things that David and I always, we have a weekly meeting. And last year, David? Yeah, we actually found out for us at work for events. Year prior, we did about 10 events back in 2022. And we thought, wow, this works. And the events are working for us. Then we developed, okay, let's do way more events. So last year we did 83 events for 2023. This year we're at 36, I want to say, David, for the year. But so that's what's working. It's been a journey. Yeah, it's been great events.
And I like the definition of an event. It's more than one person, right? So you guys, it doesn't have to be huge and elaborate, right? And then I think we forget, like, you can have your events here. So venue's free, right? So if you guys want to do some type of, I know Jennifer did one. Yes, Jennifer did one here. Ebony and Ebony and I'm blanking on her name, but they did one here. It was called
Shatana.
Thank you, Shatana. Thank you, Kim. It was called Wine and it wasn't Wine and Dine. It was like wine and something, but it was what they did was they did a wine and talk about trust, the building a living trust. And so they had Jorge come in and he spoke about building a living trust. And so it was like wine and trust, but they had some catchy name. But they did it right here and it was really nice. They had like 10, 11 people show up. So that's a great event and it didn't cost them hardly anything. So just ideas like that. It doesn't have to be expensive. If you guys want more ideas on that, I know David and Roz can help and I can help you guys because we can come up with cheap ways. I'm the queen of cheap. Queen. All right, guys. Any other questions though before we go?
Any other questions?
We good?
Well,
Okay.
I'm here if you have any questions for me on what David shared.
Perfect. Thank you guys. Thank you so much.
Thank you, David.
Thank you, David.
Thank you. Brandy, great to see you. Roz, good to see you. Bye, everybody.
Bye, Zoomers. Thank you, guys. Oh, and you guys, we want
Thank
to
you.
for hosting our lunch.
Oh,
and
thanks,
Al
Nancy.
for bringing it. Thank you so much,
Thank
Al. It's delicious. It's actually Al's mother's restaurant, right? Al's mother's restaurant.
Oh, wow.
In Pico. Okay.
Oh,
you have to
wow,
give
okay.
her information so we can spread it out. Yes.
For your events. Catering for
Yeah.
everybody.
Really good, yeah.